Okay, I'm going to be tying a crawfish marabou jig. It's going to be a size 1/32 ounce jig head, red jig head that I made yesterday. Orange marabou, brown marabou, couple rubber legs, and then some dubbing, some orange and brown dubbing that I just mixed together and put on there. So yeah, start off by putting your jig head in the vise. And the thread that I'm using is just straight up sewing thread. I found a pack of like 15 things of thread today for like $3, and I couldn't pass up the deal. Plus, for this kind of stuff, it works great. I mean, it makes them a little bit more bulky, but these flies that don't have much material, these Marabou jigs, works awesome. So yeah, start off by I'm using red thread, obviously. Start off by tying it all the way down till you get to about the end of the hook. So about that point right there. And then you are going to grab some orange Marabou. You can use it in any colors you want. If you're in an area that's got more of an olive crawfish color, then use olive. But where I'm at, the crawfish here are more of an orange tint. So I'm using orange and brown just to kind of give it a little bit different color, make it a little bit more presentable, in my opinion, to the fish. So yeah. What I like to do is I like to cut off the stem tip of it. That way, whenever you pluck off the ends to make it the length that you want, it's easier to do. So first off, flip your jig over. You're going to tie some orange to the bottom of the jig first. About yay long, doesn't matter because we're going to plucking it to size. Be sure you wrap it all the way up close to the jig head. That way your body, whenever you put your dubbing on the end, it stays pretty uniform and doesn't give you any high spots. Okay, so you tied the piece on the bottom, flip your hook back over. We're going to put another piece of orange above that one. Another piece of marabou. I like to cut the stems off, like I said. Just cut that stem off. And just fold it down like so. You got a nice piece to put on there. Nice and fluffy. Like fluffy. Cut it down as close as you can get. Boom. Cool. Okay, now that's on. We're going to put our rubber legs on. So I'm just using black rubber legs because that's what I have. You can use whatever color you want. I was going to go with orange, but I don't have any orange rubber legs, so I'm going with black. Okay, what I did is I went ahead and stripped it and then left it whole on one side. So you're just going to lay that down on top like so. And then try to keep it perfectly on top. Tie that sucker down. Tie that sucker down. Stretch it, cut it, boom. And then we can cut it to length at the end. Okay, and now we just have one more piece of marabou to put on, which is brown. It looks like I already have a piece right here. Really simple fly to tie, or jig. I mean, you can use a fly pole with a 1/32 ounce. or you could use a spinner pole, really, if you had light enough rod. It would work perfect. Lay that down on top. Boom. Okay, now we just have one more material to put on, and that is the dubbing. So what I did is I just took orange dubbing and some brown, put them together, and just kind of pulled them apart, kind of mixing the two together. That way there's not really a solid color on the body. It kind of gives it more of a dark orange-ish brown color, which is, I think, more similar to the crawdads, because they're not like completely solid orange. What I like to do is I like to wet my fingers a little bit when I put the dubbing on. That way it just rolls on there a little bit nicer. Okay, pull that Marabou back. That wasn't that big of a piece. Just work it all the way up to the jig head, and then you're pretty much done with this fly. Pretty simple fly to tie. Really effective too. You could use it for big old rainbows, brown trout. Use it for smallmouth bass or even largemouth bass. Marabou jigs are a great bass lure. Actually, I heard the other day that the Marabou jig originated in Ontario, Canada, and they use them there right now for smallmouth fishing, and a lot of tournament fishermen use them. So I thought that was kind of cool. Cool, just like that, you're done. A few more wraps. Do like 4 or 5 half hitches. Three, 4, 5. Perfect. Cut that off. Finish it off with some head cement. Right on that thread. And boom. All we gotta do is pluck the Marabou to the right length, or you can leave it like this if you like your flies a little bit more long like that, but I just want to make it a little bit shorter. So I'll move the legs, the rubber legs, out of the way. I'm gonna figure out how long I want to make it. You just squeeze and pluck. Sorry for the shaky camera. Sometimes it plucks easier than other times. This is a time when it's not plucking that easy. And plucking it like this instead of just cutting it with scissors kind of gives it more of a more natural looking presentation compared to just like a straight scissor cut. But yeah, that's it. You are done. You can leave those rubber legs long, or you can cut them a little shorter. I'm actually going to cut them just a touch bit shorter, just so it barely pokes out the back of the Marabou. And boom, now we're done. Got yourself a crawfish, crawdad, Marabou jig. Should work good for trout in lakes and rivers, as well as definitely for bass fishing. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you learned that you don't have to use all the fancy equipment. Just straight up sewing yarn works good as well. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment, or if you have any suggestions for me to have me tie things a little bit better, feel free to comment. Thanks for watching.